Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ostarius, but you can call me Osti, and welcome back for more The Great Ace Attorney. We finished the first day of the third case, and now we're gonna go for the second day. Uh, oh yeah, Susato is back. We... Where is the case going to go? Because we need to prove that Dr. Albert is not a killer, but I feel like we kinda did. So I don't know where this is going to go. I still don't know who did it, and I still don't know how some of this stuff was done. But we do. And he's inside the balloon. Yeah, anyone suspicious in the audience? I don't think so. Let's see where the game's gonna take us. I don't know much more what there is left on this trial. I feel like that should have been the end of the trial, both plot-wise and time-wise. But I guess this case is a bit longer. But we'll see. It doesn't feel... Both the investigation and the courtroom were kind of long. But anyways. Oh, this room, it's been too long. It hasn't changed in the slightest, though. Let me just... You have done this before begin, but okay. It's been 6 months, hasn't it? That's a long time for things to stay so familiar. I didn't know when you might return it. I want everything to be as you have left it. But it has been 6 months, it's true. So, is your father alright, Susie? What happened? Just organizing some stuff. My father? Yes, Professor Mikotobo, I mean. It was half a year ago. That's why you went back to Japan. Because of the telegram we received saying he fallen ill. It was with a very high fever for some unknown reason. Well, she already sent the card that explains the situation that we read, and that's the excuse they used to do the flashback case. Did she not explain in the letter about her father's situation? I guess keeping information from us is kinda her thing now. That's right. So I was surprised to learn you'd be coming back so soon. Surprised but happy. I think I wrote it in my letter to you that it was our trick. Okay, so she did read it. Wrote it. My father is in fine health, and I'm obviously very relieved about that. Well, we are all delighted to have you back. It was quite by accident that I left, that I have been able to return to... Sorry. Oh my, sorry, let me just... put this here. Okay. It was quite by accident that I have been able to return to Europe, actually. It was because of a very grand conference called the International Forensic Science Symposium. Symposium? That's the same symposium Lord Strongheart mentioned. Anyway, I have arrived safe and sound, and other matters that I'm here now. Did they not read the rest of her letter? After all, I haven't yet fulfilled my promise to you, Iris. Yeah, how the fuck do you know the name of the book? You must tell us everything that happened while you were back in Japan. Of course, I shall. And there is one other thing. Something you wrote in your letter that particularly grabbed my attention. About you-know-who. I know. I will tell you all I can. Okay, so she's going to be more open now. When I first arrived back in Japan, I really thought I would never be allowed to return to Britain. But curiously, after that awful trial at the Supreme Court, Father Moods changed entirely. The awful trial? Oh yes, for the murder of Jazili Brett. Oh, you dressed as a man then, didn't you, Susie? Oh, well, yes. Since women are forbidden in the courtroom, I have no choice. Oh, amazing. I wish I had seen it, don't you, Runa? Yeah, I suppose so. Very enthusiastic about it. I want to play it being a lawyer now. I could wear a false mustache, maybe. I don't think any mustache could hide the fact that you're just a 10-year-old Iris. There's something else I've been wanting to ask you, Mrs. Sato. It's about the real reason why Professor Mikotoba summoned you back into Japan. You said in your letter it was something to do with the convicted loot we found in Mr. Natsume's logging. The dog collar. The very dog collar we found with the bee emblem. Oh, so it was a bee. Oh, wasn't the name of the fucking book was The Hound of Baskerville, something like that. I think that was the name of the book that they didn't want to publish, which I do think it's a real Sherlock Holmes story. It seems Mr. Natsume included a drawing of the collar in the report he submitted about his time in Britain. I understand that when my father saw the report, he turned it as white as a sheet. Why would that be then? Father came to Britain himself, of course, to study. It was some time ago. Sorry. Father came to Britain himself, of course, to study. It was some time ago now, but he stayed for 6 years. I can only imagine that something must have happened during that time. But if he refuses to tell me what it was, then I intend to find the answers for myself. And I decided that I, for one, won't keep any more secrets. Aww, character development! Oh, Susie, that is so incredible for you! That's a very meaningful look Susato-san is giving Aris there. Oh, are you gonna tell her about her father? Lord Strongheart mentioned something about the symposium too. I think he said investigating authorities from 40 different countries would attend. Yes, and from Japan, my father and Judge Jigoku have been invited. It's sort of an honor, I believe. Well, Professor Mikotoba is the leading expert in forensic medicine in our country, after all. But who's the other person you mentioned, a judge? Yes, His Excellence Judge Seishiro Jikoku. You have met him, Mr. Naruhodo. Last year in the Supreme Court, you can't possibly have forgotten it. The terrible trial of yours when you were accused of murder. Oh, yes, I think I try to think of that as a positive turning point in my life these days. Well, it was Judge Jigoku who presided over that trial. Jigoku... Isn't Jigoku the Japanese word for, like, hell? No. Japanese word... hell. Yeah, Jigoku. Well, he shouldn't be Judge Emma, I guess. If I'm perfectly honest, I'll be happy to never see that man's face again in my life. Oh, well, anyway, as father was invited to the symposium, he agreed to me returning to Britain too. He won't actually arrive until next month, but, well, I couldn't wait. So I pledged with him, and in the end, he agreed to me going on ahead. Yes, about the symposium, it seems as though Lord Strongheart has put in an awful lot of work to make it happen. It's obviously very important. I believe it is. Yes, as I understand, Lord Strongheart organized the entire event himself. I think he's hoping that by achieving exceptional results, he'll get the job of Attorney General, the most senior position in the British justice system. He's hoping to use his power to create the world's finest policy institution. That's what my father said anyway. Apparently it's Lord Strongheart's lifelong ambition. Okay, so Professor Mikotoba knows Lord Strongheart personally then, I wonder. How many people did you met when you were here, Mikotoba? Actually, Lord Strongheart gave me a long speech all about the very subject only yesterday. But I sort of lost the will to live early on and didn't really listen to much of it. You really should. That shit is important, my dude. I'll try for you. Jessie Brett, the woman whose unforgivable actions ended in me being wrongly accused of a crime I didn't commit. The murder of Dr. Johnson H. Wilson. Are we gonna talk to Iris about it now? Yes, Jessie Brett. That's a name I won't forget for as long as I live. The extraordinary thing is, though, it seems it's a name we should all forget. Sorry, yeah, it's a fake name. Since the incident, our government's intelligence service have been investigating Miss Brett. But it turned out that that English woman by the name of Giselle Brett didn't actually exist. Okay. Is the journalist going to be a spy, or is he? Because the motivation he have to kill her, I thought it was going to be to silence her, since I was under the assumption that she was a spy from British, trying to silence Dr. John because he knows something. Maybe. Okay, the second case, Olive Green, it was a murder attempt out of personal revenge. And then the cameraman would, the reporter would also be like a sort of, I will make justice with my own hands. Actually, now that I think about it, Jesselai is evil. Reporter tried to eliminate her for justice. Let's just put it like that. Olive tried to kill Shakespeare because she believed he was evil and killed her fiancé, so she tried to get revenge. And now the third case, the person who died was also the lord of a criminal organization. Is the theme of this game going to be all the quote-unquote victims are somehow evil? With evil on bigger quotes. There's out the English woman by the name of Giselle Brett. I guess maybe because in my head, before the game even begin, I thought Lord Strongheart is going to be the final boss because he's killing a lot of people around for justice. So it could be a full game theme. But wouldn't that theme also extend for the first game? No, the first game has nothing of that type. Yeah, no. Honestly, all the people who die, aside from Olive Green, who was just stabbed, are all good people. Olive didn't die, she was just a good people. Kazuma was a good person. The guy from the Paul Broker was a good person. The Trice Fire Manson dude, he was trying to help his son with his business, and the business was criminal in nature, but he was just a father trying to help him. And John H. Wilson, I'm assuming he was silenced, but I'm assuming he was also a good person. But that's the usual, right? Because you don't want to feel bad about the person you're gonna put in jail. But in this game, it has been the opposite. Interesting. Turns out an English woman by the name of Jessie Brett didn't actually exist. It didn't exist, but how can that be? It was a pseudonym. Her real name was Shin. She wasn't a visiting student either. That was a front. That is not a British name. A front? Who on earth was she? Miss A. Sin. Her name is quite literally our intelligence service have been able to assert about her. Okay, that's not a name. Miss A. Shin. Nobody knows why or even how she came to be in Japan. It's a completely mystery. Okay, so she's not an English spy, but she was trying to kill Dr. J to silence him. Wouldn't the British government know about her? That makes no sense. It's an easy task to be accepted as a foreign student anywhere. Yeah, because we were in contact with the British government. What could that woman be up to? I'm afraid I don't really know. The only thing we can be sure of is that she has some business in our country that we don't yet understand. And now she's been killed, while all the questions surrounding her existence remain unanswered. I'm afraid so. A. Shin. Who on earth was she? Why do I have the feel I have heard that name before somewhere? Have we? Shin. Have we? At least not in this case. Have we? After my friend Ray trial, the reporter who actually killed Miss Red said something very strange. I know the truth. I know you have a hand in what went on in that visiting student fate. Okay, but his death was an accident. Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know the guy never made to England, that he died on the steamship, and that he will never... Obviously, I couldn't ask him to elaborate at the time, but later I visited the man in prison and asked him about what he was going to say about Kazuma-sama. Great! I was just about to say, when I finished reading, I was never able to ask him. I was like, why didn't you visit him like 5 minutes after? But okay, she did. Good job. What did he learn? What did you learn, sorry? After he died on the voyage to Great Britain, his body should have been unloaded on the port of Hong Kong and passed into the care of the consulate staff there. Should have been. Well, it turns out that his body never arrived. We did confirm he was dead. Both of us, right? Like, first-handed. Game, don't pull such a completely fucking stupid move. Please. It's just disappeared. Kazuma's body vanished? Our government tried to cover that fact up, it seems. They erected a grave on the cliffs by our hometown. Except Kazuma-sama isn't there. Did Professor Mikotoba know about this? Yes, it would seem he did. But he didn't tell me. They're still investigating what happened to Kazuma-sama's body as we speak. I just don't believe it. What is this acute feeling of apprehension I have all of a sudden? It's your sense of shit writing just going haywire. Please, Gamey, please don't go with actually he was alive all along and Naruhodo, Suzato, and Holmes never actually checked the body. Please, please don't do that, game. He was not a body double. Thinking back now, some of the things that happened on SS Buria was definitely strange. No, it was just stupid. I mean, after he died, we never saw his body again, did we? Oh yeah, we never saw the body. It was just like a line around the floor. Please don't do this, game. This is dumb. I don't like this. Please, game, don't do this. Could it be? Could it be that he's actually... Stop it, Naruhodo. It's too stupid to bear. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Just think about the possibility. It hurts me so very much. Get your mind back for a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. When Kazuma-sama was discovered, Mr. Shomas was there, wasn't he? As was, you know, Suzato. He definitely examined the body, I remember it clearly. Ah, you're right. So, if Kazuma haven't actually been dead, it would mean Mr. Shomes had lied to us and Suzato didn't check the body. But there's no reason why he would possibly have done such a thing. Absolutely no reason. I suppose that's true. Is the entire plot of this game also going to be I'm just keeping secrets the idea that he might be alive somewhere, it fills me with dread, but I can't let it, because if it turned out not to be true, then I'll be back at the bottom of an awful pit of hope again. I'm terrible of what that might do to me. Oh, Miss Suzato. I know she's given the idea that though it deserves. Sorry. I know she's given the idea the thought it deserves. It's Susato's sons we're talking about, after all. So I probably shouldn't push it now. Please don't go there, game. Okay, goodbye. Do I have to present her something? Yo, must be about a year ago now. I wrote a really long story based on some of my father's old notes. Yeah, The Hounds of Baskerville. That's the name. Hurley Greatest Exploits. It's one of Hurley's greatest exploits. I call it The Hound of Baskerville. But then Mr. Sholmes forbade you from publishing it and put the manuscript somewhere nobody could get their hands on it. So nobody knows anything about it apart from Hurley and I. For some reason, you knew the title. Didn't you, Susie? Sounds exciting. The Hound of Baskerville. I should love to read it. And you wouldn't tell me how you have come to know it. More than a good explanation about how she knows the name, I want a good explanation of why she couldn't say it 6 months ago. I made you a promise that I would explain one day, didn't I? I think it's time. I'm only sorry I have to keep it from you for so long, Iris. It was completed by accident that I came to know the title of your manuscript. It was a short while before we left Japan. I was cleaning Father's study and I saw something on his writing desk. A large box of papers. There was a label affixed to the box that was written in English. It read, The Hounds of Baskerville. My Hound Baskerville story. Of course, I have no idea what it was at the time. My father came in and... Susato, what are you doing? Oh, father, did you look at those papers? No, I simply read the label, that's all. Well, put it out of your mind. Sorry? Forget you ever saw it, and certainly don't tell anyone else about it. Do you understand? But what was Iris' manuscript doing in Japan? Okay, so how the fuck did you thought that that box is the story that she was talking in that conversation? Why would you go, oh, I have a book I haven't published, and then you meant to go, oh, my father did have a box in English in his room. What's the bridge? And why the secret? Okay, let's keep going. What was Iris' manuscript doing in Japan? I have no idea. But when I heard Iris mention the word Baskerville that day, the title just slipped out. That's bad. Okay. I would never have guessed that it was an unpublished story of one of Mr. Sholmes' exploits. No, the way you reacted was very much... Oh, I knew it was... like... Yeah, sounds exciting. I should love to read. Yeah, she absolutely knew it was a story, but she shouldn't. When I returned to Japan, I asked father to explain. Okay, why did you keep it a secret from Iris 6 months ago? Well, he refused to answer any of my questions. There was no sign of the big box in his office. That's such a bad... Okay, the idea that she saw the name in her father's study, that's completely fine. She immediately connecting the dots on the conversation with Iris 6 months ago, immediately jumping at the name. And immediately jumping, it's... and not having a... Okay, now I hope we now address why did you need to keep it a secret. Okay. That's really all I know about it. I have no doubt father has a very good reason for being so secretive about it, but still. Oh, so you understand the idea of having a motivation to keep something a secret. I made up my mind to explain myself to both of you. Well, thank you for being honest, Susie. Okay, we are not going to address why she kept it a secret. Okay, so we are just not gonna talk about it. We are just not gonna address it. It doesn't matter. We kept it a secret because the plot demands that we didn't know yet. Okay. I don't like you, Susato. I'm ready to start investigating if you are. I have committed every memory about the case to memory. And Iris has told me about the disturbing happenings at the Waxwork Museums as well. We still don't know how that's going to be connected to the case. So, you are fully abreast of the situation already. Miss Osato, I expected nothing less, to be honest. I would think our first port of call should be to investigate this Mr. Drebber, the engineer responsible for building the elaborate machine that was used to effect this extraordinary trick. Yes, a conjurer of sorts, by the sound of it, well known in the fields of science and magic. Then we need to go and arrest him. Well, yeah, he must know the truth behind the case, so I agree we really do need to find the man. Sounds like it's a case of tracking someone down. Which is a job for the police, or a great detective. Are we supposed to guess who she might be thinking of? We don't have much time, so we need to get started straight away, I think. Good idea. Well, best of luck then. Oh, you're not coming today? I'm going to Brickstone Road shortly for the herb market. But let me know later how you got on. Wouldn't you? Won't you? That was a little abrupt. The pull of the herb market must be strong. Okay. Sorry, I'm still disappointed, but okay, let's just keep going. Hello! Oh, who is that standing beside Lord Strongheart? I wonder, I've never seen her before. Oh, young champion of the court, you have some success this morning, I understand. And you have thrown the entire government in disarray as a result. Oh, you mean because of Professor Hainbrain's experiment? Extreme science being demonstrated at the London Great Exhibition. The country has been made to look foolish, and now politicians are scrambling to respond. Lord Van Zix is in Whitehall as we speak, giving an emergency briefing. Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause any trouble. None of this is your responsibility. The government is entirely to blame for having been taken in. The special dispensation that prevents investigation at the scene will be annulled later today. Once that happened, my forensic investigation team will move in and deal with that scrap of metal in no time. Scrap metal now, huh? Until later then, Lord Strongheart. That's the same emblem as Van Zix, I think. And that's the stuff with the snake. I think it's a medical thing. Until later, Dr. Strongheart. Yes, thank you. Who was that? That was Dr. Courtney City, Scotland Yard's team chief coroner. Okay, so doctor, okay. She's leading the forensic investigation team handling of this case. She was just delivering her report about the victim, in fact. Oh, I see. Following the outcome of the trial earlier, I asked the coroner officer to reevaluate its findings. I don't have time to tell you what she concluded. If you want to know, ask her directly. You can find her in the forensic laboratory. Oh, right. Now, what were you here to see me about? I can give you 7 minutes and 39 seconds of my time. Oh, so he's not quite running so spectacularly late anymore. Honestly, I just click at the first warning line of the locations. What exactly is the forensic investigation team that you were mentioned before? The British aim... Wouldn't that have already been explained to you during the 2 hours monologue? Presentation? Let's go with presentation. He gave you about the new system. The British Empire police force must be the most exemplary in the world. For that to happen, it's imperative that we embrace forensic science and everything it has to offer. I first created the forensic investigation team a year ago, now, unofficially of course, to pave the way. I first created the forensic investigation team a year ago now, unofficially of course, to pave the way. Goodness, a year ago! At next month's symposium, I intend to present the results of their work to the world. To the world. Oh my god. Once I do that, the House of Lords will be powerless to oppose the creation of a full-scale forensic division. And once that happens, the position of Attorney General will be mine, and criminals will suffer dearly. What do you mean? For too long, those scoundrels have made a mockery of our legal system with false evidence and bribes. The London Scums is about to be rounded up and burned in the fires of hell. I tend to see it personally. By creating the finest police force the world has ever known to protect our honor and our future. Look at those eyes. He means every word. He meant. Dr. Sid is an extremely reliable coroner. When I officially establish the forensic division at Scotland Yard, she will run it as my right-hand woman. Now, speaking of the symposium, Miss Mikotoba. Oh, yes, my lord? Your father should be on the high seas as we speak, making his way here to represent the Empire of Japan. Yes, that's right. I understand he will be arriving at the beginning of next month. Are you acquainted, Lord Strongheart, with Professor Mikotoba, I mean? It was many years ago now, but yes, I remember Dr. Mikotoba very well. Okay, now it's getting interesting. If my memory serves, it was some 15 years ago now that your father came to Britain as a visiting student. It was the year I was born, so yes, 16 years ago in fact. Mikotoba was a young practitioner of forensic science. That's not how. Practitioner of forensic science, and Jigoku accompanied him as a young, promising judge. Sorry, a judge apprentice. Okay. But the punctuality and politeness of the Japanese at the time impressed us greatly. Not because, but of the punctuality and politeness of the Japanese at the time impressed us greatly. Not that I wish to imply impoliteness or carelessness of your part, on your part in any way. I didn't think you were. Dr. Mikotoba studied forensic at one of London's large hospitals. St. Sinners, if I'm not mistaken. Sinners. What was her name again? Sit. Dr. Sit, okay, was also there then, as it happens. Then Dr. Sit knows my father, does she? He was a young medical assistant at the time, so I doubt their paths crossed regularly. But I have no doubt they knew each other superficially. After all, Dr. Mikotoba was here studying his subject for some 6 years in total. 6 years, that's a long time to be studying abroad, isn't it? I lived with my grandmother in those years, so he left his newly born daughter behind and went overseas for 6 years. It was rather a turbulent time at home. Perhaps father wanted a reason to get away, and just getting my daughter away is not a priority, I guess. She can handle it. What do you mean, why? Well, clearly something was going on at the time. Good job on keeping your dialogue about being more open about secrets. Yeah, I'm just fucking around. Yeah, it's a personal family thing. I want to ask you about Lord Van Zix, actually. I heard that his older brother was killed some years ago by a mass murderer known as the Professor, who targeted nobles and royalty. Is that right? You Japanese are thorough lot. You have done your research well. Yes. And you could have said it was that very instant that gave rise to the report. What? Why? When his brother, Clint Van Zix, was murdered, it was just after young Baruch had graduated from the University of London and become a prosecutor. When obvious criminals who managed to evade conviction in court started disappearing, Rumor quickly started spread throughout the capital. Londoners started to say whenever Baron van Zix went, the ghost of his dead brother wasn't far behind. Oh ma! So Lord van Zix isn't the Reaper, it's the ghost of his brother. Which would be a dumb thing, but we know that in this planet, in the planet of Ace Attorney, ghosts are real. Ever since that time, he became a very aloof figure in London's legal circles. Ah, yes, Log Strongheart. Go ahead. It's about Professor Hainbrain experimental machine. We'd like our permission to examine the remains, if possible. Are you well versed in science? Not in the slightest. In fact, you could say I was barely aware of the subject at all until recently. Well, the special disposition legally preventing the investigation of the machine is currently being annulled. Within a few hours, Dr. Sid's team of forensic experts will begin their own investigation. But I suppose until then, there is no harm in you looking at the wreckage as long as you touch nothing. Thank you. Be able to look it's better than nothing. And I'll be able to see it too. Your time is up. You'll have to excuse me now, I'm afraid. My next engagement calls. We are extremely sorry to have troubled you when you are busy, my lord. I have important matters to attend to in preparations for the symposium, you understand. I love the neck protector in this armor. New location. Now we can we can go to the laboratory. Okay. Let's just keep going down. Yeah, that tracks. What is he doing? Math. He is, oh my, the whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations. So he's still writing more now. You need more numbers here, my dude. Professor, sorry to interrupt. Sorry. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, and who is this young lady? My name is Susato Mikotoba. I'm Dr. Naruhodo, a judicial assistant. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor. If only I have met a friend... If only I have met a refined young woman like you sooner. None of this would have happened. No, that's not logical. That makes no sense. Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence has upset you. I only apologize to you, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised you I would in court this morning. No. The whole thing, this whole miserable affair, it happens because I have been such a complete and utter clog. Professor Hainbrain, what have you been working on in your cell? I have no idea what he's doing. Oh, you mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply have to write it down. Then what was all I have to hand? Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to suppress the teleportation machine? No, actually this is my autobiography. Your autobiography? How I Was Dido and Fido by Albert Hainbrain. I found I can represent my odd fortunes with only... I can represent my odd fortune with only odd numbers. An ambitious set of simultaneous equations. Really? I'm gonna have to pay back all the loans I took for the machine, you see? So I'm gonna so it's going to be a new serial publication from next month's part 1, The Odd Birth and Odd Uprising. Why is it so small? You can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. I see. For now, would you mind if we talk a little more about the case? Yes, of course. I have been working through the numbers. I was fiddled by the pair of them, by Osmond and by the aloof engineer Drebber. You now I have to see to the explanation of all the equations, are we? I would enjoy that. Mostly because I want to see what Capcom would write. Everything I believe in has been turned on its head. Research Mr. Osmond, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis. I'm sorry coming to this, there was really no other way. No, it's not your fault. I want to protect my work, but in the end there was nothing worth protecting. It was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. No, of course you didn't. But in court this morning I realized something. If you have done something wrong without knowing, you still have done something wrong. Logically, it makes no difference if you're aware of it or not. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame lies with me. Oh, we are back to lack of knowledge is not an excuse. Oh, Professor. He believed in me this morning, you know. Baroque did. He believed in my hypothesis. Well, I think that was just a necessary factor in the prosecution establishing its case. No, Baroque wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. Did he? I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. I think the opposite. He knew it was fake. He knew you were tricked. I mean, he was trying to get you guilty to protect your honor or something. After the terrible accident that happened, nobody would believe my hypothesis anymore. Not the police, not the prosecution service, not any lawyer even. I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there. So, if any other prosecution have taken the case, if it was anyone other than Baruch, I'm sure the prosecution will have declared my hypothesis completely and utter nonsense. In that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself. Exactly, which would have been fate worse than death for me. But Baruch insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish. You think that's why he... I know him very well. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul. As long as you're British. But that extremely hard-kinded soul spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he? Oh, admittedly, that part of the analysis appeared to have some flaws in it. And what about the whole Reaper side of things? How does that fit in the kind-hearted soul idea? Okay, we just changed subjects. Do you think he set out to trick me from the very start? I'm sorry, but that does seem likely, yeah. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. He looked over the paper I have written and said that my work would benefit all of humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthusiastic. He was so enthusiastic. No, emphatic, enthused. I don't know how to read it like that. But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems. I still can't believe it. The machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic. It probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually. But the scale of it wasn't just some small trick. It was a very elaborate feat of deception. Our young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Many of us take on barely legal part-time work to try to earn just a few measly pennies to carry on. You go to all that only to be taken for a completely fool. It's too rotten to believe. It is, I agree. And that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. The Osmond is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer. Mr. Enoch Drebber. What do you know about him? Is he an engineer or a magician or a swindler? It was about... Oh my god, sorry. It was about a year ago when Mr. Asmon first brought Trevor to meet me at my laboratory. Since then, I have met him many times to discuss details about the Kinesis machine. But at no point did you have any inkling that he was just an illusionist? Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist. What do you mean? He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There is no question that the man is a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation. See? But the wretched man deceived you, Professor, and it's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Are there no more clues you can give us about his whereabouts? Sorry, we only ever discussed the Kinesis machine. Nothing else. Although, just once, I did visit his workshop. Wouldn't... No. I'm trying to think of the position of the buildings. No, what the fuck, man? Sorry. One workshop. There were enormous fabrications laboratory where he constructed my great machine. My head just went on somewhere. I have no idea what the fuck did I said. Why didn't you mention this before? Okay, sorry. Let me just reread some of this. But in justice, there are more clues about his whereabouts. We won't discuss the Kinect machine. Just once, I did visit his workshop. What workshop? There was another fabrication laboratory where he constructed my great machine. Why didn't you mention this before? Incredible workshop. There is every chance we might find the man there. So, you have been to the rebel place of work then? Just once, you understand? It was an enormous place, plenty of room to construct the Kinesis machine, you see. Where can we find it? We have to go there. You will find Drebler there. Or something. Yes, definitely, I'm sure. I'm sure you're not gonna want to hear this. But I have no idea where the workshop is. Sorry. I was more than half expecting that. You see, I was blindfolded in the carriage the entire way there. He blindfolded you, he wasn't taking any chances then. The place was incredible, a pinnacle of modern engineering. Even the oil he used was the very best, a special French machine oil that is impossible to obtain in Britain. Ah, the indescribable scent of that imported oil. Reformers across the world should forget the secret formula and use that instead. What do you think, Mr. Zato? Are you the machine for your next birthday? I have never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Naruhodo, and I'm not sure I'd like to start with that. I don't suppose you know even part of the workshop address? You don't have a business card from Mr. Drebler, for example? The man was clear... I do! He gave me his business card once. It's right here. Well, let me see that. Throw etiquette to the window, why don't you? Enoch Drebler, engineer. I'm afraid that it is all it says. There is no address. Oh well, can't say I am surprised. Enoch Drebler, engineer. 2 logos and a sign, okay. Still, this could be useful. This dark smudge here, I think perhaps it's machine oil. Possibly. Professor Heimbrand mentioned something about oil Mr. Drebler uses. Special imported very high quality oil that is impossible to obtain in Britain. That's right, but more importantly, that is more fragrant than the finest perfume, so excuse me for a moment. Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent. Don't worry, I expect that's just because there's such a tiny amount. no, 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 no. Okay. Let's just move on. Can I check the prosecution officer? Let's go to the exhibition. Dog! I have no idea. Sorry. I have no idea there were so many people in the ward. I know what you mean. It's really packed here today. It feels as though it's taken us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowd to this point. Has it? I shut my brain down, so I don't really notice, to be honest. Gosh, I do wish I have the absence of I have your absence of mind sometimes. There you are. Dr. Gregson, I see you're hard at work as usual. Warm greetings to you. I do hope you have been keeping well since last we met. What with the ceremony? We just saw each other in the court this morning. Not you, Sunshine, the gentlewoman, so loyally at your side. Oh. Hi, thank you, Inspector. How good of you to notice. He might be a bit rough around the edges, but he's still a proper English gentleman at heart, I suppose. We have encountered him before with Susie. Has he ever behaved like that with her before? As you have probably guessed, we were hoping to investigate the scene some more. Right. That's the young trainee's domain. Oh, you got over here, Gina. She seems to be busy playing with the puppy, probably giving a traditional East End training. Gina? She's a police officer now. Amazing, isn't it? She's a good kid, actually. Heart's in the right place. Anyways, she got a detective bug, if you ask me. Yep, I think she will follow in my footsteps nicely. What do you mean? I'm in Trustford. It's time for me to say toodaloo to London. Oh, really? That's a bit sudden, isn't it? I have no idea. Where are you going to be posted? And we'll come to see you how you're doing. Sorry, we'll come to see how you're getting along. No, not likely, but you're gonna have to try if you don't mind a trip to France. That is. I'll be working on the Paris Police Prefecture. Should be right up my alley. But France is an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would you be sent there? That's the way adult world works, Sunshine. Now, don't go poke your nose where it's not wanted. I'm intending to take the kid with me when I go. What? You're taking Gina to Paris? To Paris? Oh, I can't leave her in London. Who knows what should become of her? I suppose his word she's slipped back into slipping her hands into people's pockets and purses. I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Mr. Naruhodo. I think he's worried about the Reaper. Oh, of course. She is scheduled to die because case. So that's playing on Inspector Gregson's mind too, is it? Anyway, have I mention of any of this to Gina, so don't go blathering. Would you hear me? No, of course not. I gotta keep the diving diva safe and sound, until all this is over at least. Oh, did you just call me a blooming diving diva again? So you heard that, did you? Well, any questions about this scene? You can give them to my capable detective div here. Okay, sorry. Let me just get some water and wake up. Alright, you heard the boss. Inspector Lestrade in charge here now. I suppose I'd rather keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. buddies. So, Gina, you got a new dog. Isn't he great? Toby's his name. Oh, how delightful. He's absolutely adorable. Yes, the dog does seem lovely. But it's the not so lovely Spectre Gregson that is playing in my mind, to be honest. Oh my god. Gino, we were actually hoping that we could investigate this scene again. Alright, if it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Yes, Toby. The machine that exploded must be at the top of these stairs, I presume. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind. Sorry, you can go up there, Suzu. It's like I told you all yesterday, even I am not allowed near the wreck. What's it called again? The reason we were supposed to touch it? The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one. That's why only then lot are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? The Forensic Investigation Team? Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one, yeah. But isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted? I think so, but I don't really get it. But to be truthfully with you, you're still supposed to get permission from some big window order, as far as I know. What was his name again? Lord Strange something? Not sure, but that's quite right. I think you mean Lord Strongheart. That's the one, yeah. Apparently, he's always watching the time or something. Actually, we have just recently been to see Lord Strongheart. Oh, you what? You have met him? Last time the boss was called to go see him, he wanted for the 3 hours of... Sorry, I again just blank out a line. You met him. Last time the boss was called to go and see him, he waited for 3 hours at the convent's office and came back shivering. Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene, as long as we touch nothing. Oh yeah? Honestly? Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out you're lying, it will be the boss who gets it. He never eat another chip again in his life. So, you're still saying all this about above board, are you? I'm sure everything will be fine. It really would be tragic. Alright, then the stairs. Off you go. Thank you, Ginny. Do you have a lot to talk about first? It was great, weren't it? I have the right, left. It was a new one on me that... You know, being the court and not spending the whole time worrying I'm about to be found out. You did keep an awful lot of secrets in your previous court appearances, didn't you? Yeah, and odds made things hard for me every single time. Just doing my job. But watching someone else get it in the neck of... Sorry, but watching someone else get it in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. It was amazing when you showed that Doggy Professor dog experiment was a total fix. The Doggy Professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruhodo Clyde. Yes, I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though. The boss I feel sorry for. He was sent off to do the impossible. What do you mean? He's supposed to arrest the other cove, and in time for tomorrow's trial. You know, the dog engineer, what's his name again? Dr. Krebler. You know, Enoch Krebler? That's the one, yeah. So the police are looking for the mysterious man with the black monocle, and I guess they would be? just putting too much on my boss, if you ask me. He said it's giving him much. It's giving him gut ache. A gut ache. Ah! Oh my god! Why am I so sleepy today? I was completely fine like 30 minutes before we started. Oh dear, I do wonder if that is actually from out there, the fry food. Let's at least try to finish the investigation segment. Scotland Yard are trying to track Mr. Enoch Drebber, but I wonder if they have any luck. He's really funny looking, got two eyes that won't match. Saw a glimpse of a picture of him earlier. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing, the odd evil got it. Sorry, what? You know, the Sculling Reaper who's always grubbling down the glass of the old blood wreck claw? Ah, Lord Van Zix. He always have in it for me, that cove. Don't know what's always calling him about, mind. Probably would have pretty good bosses as it goes. She'd rather be the Reaper's apprentice than a detective trainee? The way I see it, if the choice is between a cheap guzzling detective and a chalice goblin demigod, you're equally badly off with both. Suppose you're right, I haven't thought of it like that. Glad we put that one to bed. Anyway, the point is, everyone in the yard that's set on finding the fish engineer, but there don't seem to be any clues going on, so they're stuck. There's nothing that can lead us to Drabbler at all. The dog! Oi! Don't be so flaming rude, Odo. Slightly overreaction, don't you think? He ain't no mutt. Alright, Toby, how did they put it? Oh yeah, a bona fide detective. Sorry? His tail does not stop. I have given him a proper title and everything. Chief Inspector Toby it's Chief Inspector Toby to you. More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he? Oh, so he's a police dog. The police recruiting dogs now? I heard that they already been used officially in Germany as part of their city policing. They use it for chasing criminals and such alike. They have a wonderful safe sense of smell. I have a fairly good sense of smell myself, as it happened. I can tell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarment and haven't. Ah, the nothing compared to this little old fella, although. Really? According to what the boss said, once Toby have a good whiff of your drawers, he could chase the scent to the other side of the wood. What? To the other side of the world, you mean? He can swim? Is that Naruhodo? I think you may have missed the point by rather a wide margin. I cannot believe this little dog has such incredible skill. Tell you, Odo, there is going to be nothing more. There's going to be more and more dogs doing their bit for the police in the future. Yes, I agree. Right. One of these days they'll be barking harder at us lot, not the other way around. Oh, sorry, Gina, I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much. Anyway, whatever you think about, Toby's here to be British first police dog. I found him on East End the other day. Someone had checked him out on the street. There you go, I knew she left him from somewhere. Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? Two children and two animals. Okay, how do I present to you so the dog can smell the card? How about this, Gina? Yeah, I'm still learning letters at the moment. I only know A to E. How do I say this in English? A, B, C, D, E, E, A to E. A to E. So if ain't too much bleeding trouble. Oh, actually, Gina, it's the back of the card that is important. Oh, how come? There's just dirt old smug on the back, that's all. Turns out it's a very high quality French machine oil. It has a very particular scent apparently. You don't say. Let's have a whiff then. You sure I don't smell nothing? No, we don't mean that you should smell it. Right, you mean Toby. His sense of smell is so good he can track people over the oceans, can't he? Professor Harebrine informed us that this oil is unique to Mr. Drebber workshop. Sniff, 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 sniff. I think he picked up a scent. So you mean if he followed the scent of this oil, Toby could lead us to the Doggy's Cove workshop? That's right, that's exactly what we were hoping. Alright, let's give it a go. I will just borrow that. Wait, when did you... Oh yeah, pickpocket. If I can lead everyone to Drebber workshop, I'll be the boss before next week. Oh yeah, Gina, I'm sure you'll be promoted. Poor old Gregson. Right then, Odo, leave it to me. Sorry, we're gonna get going after the Dog Engineer Cove right this minute. Oh, but hang on, someone's supposed to be on guard duty here all the time. I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina. Oh, right. Oh, well, never mind. It ain't going to be me who gets it on the neck. It's going to be the boss. Poor Gregson again. Ready, Toby? Got the oil scent, have you? Come on then, boy. See you later. I do hope the scent of that oil leads them to the Swindler workshop. I hope so too. Ideally before the dog swims across the channel to France. Okay, let's go upstairs. Oh my, so this is the machine. So that was used to deceive people into thinking such instantaneous kinesis have taken place? That's right, or rather it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment. What extraordinary lengths did Professor Harebrine went into order to obtain the research grant? No, the professor was strict as well. He didn't know anything about it. Oh, yeah, sure. It's amazing though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. You're right about that. I never see such a grand deception in Japan, that's for sure. Look, is that... Hardvanzix? And the, chair? Cage? So I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Mr. Zaki? Already! He is the Reaper. We do how to keep our distance, I think. Did you know, he have... Okay. But we have permission to be here from the top. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine as long as we don't touch anything. From the top, you mean Lord Strongheart. Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like. She could have been in the center of the explosion here and it wouldn't have bent her steering wheel. Okay, let's start examining what a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girders have buckled and twisted in the blast. And what they call the birth cage was right in the middle of it, just here. But look, Mr. Naruhodo, the metal grill on the floor. Looks as though it's designed to open. Yep. It does, doesn't it? The floor have opened at the precise moment the explosion occurred. The birdcage could have dropped through and disappeared from sight. I don't think there is any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is there? Really? I cannot, slowly check the machine? It's just... Here's the entire thing. Okay, I'm gonna check the Ferris wheel. I heard that a ride on the Ferris wheel is a favorite romantic outing among young London couples. I think the romance would be slightly spoiled by the abject terror personally, but then I'm not a Londoner. Are you a little scared of heights, Mr. Naruhodo? No, he's a lot scared of heights. Not that I'm scared, not at all. It's just that staying on ground seems so much safer. Well, perhaps I shall have to ask Aris and Mr. Sholmes to accompany me on it in that case. When you put it like that, part of me does want to give it a try. Oh dear, it is complicated for you, isn't it? Okay. Oh, isn't it exhilarating? All the different architecture from all the corners of the world. It does make you feel a bit like an explorer, doesn't it? I know it's all subjective, but the onion-shaped roofs have rather caught my attention personally. It's very subjective, isn't it? Japanese buildings with their wood and paper construction have excellent ventilation. And I have realized that British buildings made in from brick and stone are very strong and long-lasting. The more you know about how things are done in other countries, the more you understand your own, I feel. Yes, I do agree with you there. But I can't help wondering what an onion does for the roof of a building. I mean, it's supposed to be playing on my mind because I don't like the taste of onions. You really ought to let your tasting vegetables dictate your tasting roof. You really ought not to let your tasting vegetable dictate your tasting roof, Mr. Naruhodo. I do wonder from an not from an architectural point of view, but from an engineering, what is the advantage? It is just static. It's just design. Oh no, never actually bothered to think about it. This wasn't here yesterday. Really, if I'm not mistaken, it's the cage in which the victim was standing before he was apparently beamed through the air. That's right, the bird cage. According to what Professor Harebrant said in court, it's made of wood. More precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. And despite having been an explosion and falling from a great height, it's relatively unharmed. What wonderful durable construction, wouldn't you say, Mr. Naruhodo? I understand that the forensic investigation team have taken it away yesterday to examine it. I suppose they must have brought it back when they finished their work. But sadly not with the body inside. No, that's right. I know we were given strict instructions not to touch anything, but I think it's too important of piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial. Cage, victim, crashing down. Okay. So this is the bottle. Why is it broken on the left? Okay, so let's examine the breakage. Look here, Mrs. Zato. Oh, the wood crack when broken a little. I suppose it fell from such a height? Yes, from the height at which the balloon was flying, crashed down to the crystal tower below. A fall of about 30 feet or 9 meters, leaving the man inside tragically dead. Okay, so this is not the second cage, this is the first cage. I mean, because for the trick to work, they would need 2 cages. I was assuming this was the second cage. And the first was still up there. Least approachable man in the world winner, 10 years in a row. Be strong, Mr. Naruhodo. Your country and your assistant stand firm behind you. Oh god, sorry. Lord Van Zix. What? Well, beautiful weather we are having, isn't it? I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. Yeah, he has the same symbol as her. Apparently, you Nipponese are unequipped to read the sign. Oh, I read them. Oh, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited. Ah, well, the thing is, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart granted us permission to investigate. On the condition we didn't disturb anything. And yet, you managed to disturb me. Never mind, state your business then. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Zix about. Not the least of which is that awful case, even though it had nothing to do with this. Let's go away, Mr. Naruhodo. You won't know unless you try. So, Clint? What's the name of your older brother, I understand, Lord Van Zix? You Nipponists always have to be on guard whenever you're around. Yep, if you don't, they are gonna sneak attack you. So, have been investigating me, have you? No, it's not like that. Well, alright, a bit like that. My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Zix family. I do wonder where the racism is going to go. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us. The professor, you mean? Heh. Is it something funny? That's the extent of what you have discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. Sorry, there is more to it then. Lackluster work is very much your trademark, isn't it? No, my trademark is winning in court against you. You're too kind. Are you gonna tar all Japanese with the same brush next time? I'm still... Okay, let's just keep going. So tell me, what's your interesting in that historical incident? As it happened, Lord Van Zix, there is a rather curious case that comes to our attention. Are you aware of Madame Tuspel Museum of Waxwork by any chance? I am, naturally. I believe that since last month, I feature in one of the displays there for public scorn. Of course, the infamous Reaper of Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he? Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place and held for ransom. Particularly waxwork, which you wait, you mean? Yes, the professor. Mr. Sherman is investigating the case as we speak. I was unaware of that. He turned white as a shit. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebler, already? Surely that goes without saying. We are very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go aside from the description of the man we heard in the court earlier. Which, according to Professor Hainbrain, tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair and wears a black monocle. So, I was just wondering, I realize it's probably not impossible, but we very much appreciate any clues you can give us. Susato really knows how to take the bull by the horns. Fine, why not? I don't give a fuck. I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago. 10 years ago! Though it appears he have... Same cross. He already have a black monocle at the time. Very evil looking. I like his design. What? Oh, nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us. Well, we all need the main testimony in court tomorrow, which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph? Sorry, what is it about Lord Van Zix? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. The photo of the Drebler has been added to the court reports. Okay, we are done with this area. Hey, Kazuma. Ah, the file request for the trial tomorrow. Thank you, Kazuma. Are you alright? Who is this man, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, it's Kazuma. Lord Van Zix's apprentice, Kazuma. So I'm not the only one. Zato-san can say it too. Lord Van Zix, may we speak with your apprentice for a moment? With him? Why? Why are you running from us? Why are you fake deaf? Kazuma-sama. You responded to the word. And if you don't know Japanese, you wouldn't know that is a name. So the fact that you respond means you know it's a name. Maybe. Kazuma. I don't believe it. Your posture, your presence. It can only be... It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? Okay, we are going there. I felt something strange the very first time I encountered this clocked figure. As if I knew him somehow. Can it really be you, Kazuma? Wait. Too late. He's climbing down the stairs and there is nothing we can do. What's going on here? What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well... Since when has it been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced him to me about 3 months ago, with instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell me why. Did you? Did he? Sorry. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. Of course he is! He forgot every detail about himself. Of course he did! He has amnesia. Tomorrow he will appear in court at my side. What? He's to serve my judicial assistant. On Lord Strongheart's orders. He will be in court with us? Now, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Are you really not going to ask us who the fuck is Kazuma? Really? Really? Oh, yes, thank you. Definitely saw a reaction there. When Susato called out like that, it really seems to hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. Giving him the fucking katana! That's going to fix him. You're right about that masked man, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, yesterday in fact, at Lord Von Zick's office. I see. And if Kazuma-sama really is still alive, you mean Mr. Sholmes lied to us? I know, we're gonna need to speak to him about that. Ooh, looking forward to that conversation. And by that I mean looking forward to seeing how Holmes is going to evade the question. You're gonna have to leave now. The forensic investigation team are due to arrive shortly. If they find you here, it will cause problems. What sort of problems? They also hate the Japanese. Foreign affair problems. Well, we could do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Mr. Sato. Of course. The Hounds of Baskerville novel that is going to connect Lord Van Zick's, Mikotoba, John H. Wilson, Sholmes, somehow Lord Strongheart, Kazuma, who 10 years ago was like 8, like isn't Kazuma like 18, 19? So he was like 8, 9 and he never has been to England before. And there is so much shit that the last 2 cases are going to have to connect somehow. And I'm still astonished that the Crystal Tower exhibition case is not related to the terrorists, but that's something else. There is so much they have been building up for. I kind of wish this game kind of took the Ace Attorney 3 approach of having the entire game kind of connected to the final big mystery. But the first case doesn't connect that much, aside from Jesse being dead. The second case, it was just the loot at the end. And I still haven't seen in this case how the case itself is connected. Like, the case has been happening in the background while we are seeing the connection in the front. But, I don't know. Let's keep going. Oh my, no wonder it's called the House of Horrors. I like to turn on my heels and go straight home via the confectionery. Being scared makes you crave sweets? I can understand that. Okay, so I didn't misread that. God, I could go for some chocolate right now. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months, but I could eat some biscuits too. There is no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere. Strange, he should be here investigating the abduction of the waxwork. I suppose we have to come back again later. Is there anything new? No. Ah, they have a curtain in the middle of the House of Horrors. The sign says Madame Tussman's special exhibition. I know, can you believe it? Pay more money if we haven't already. Okay. Next, forensic laboratory. Okay, this is a nice ambient. All the spikes on the candelabra, chandelier. Lamp mix. Oh, they did a good job. Normally, most of the scenarios in Ace Attorney are very like messy and full of stuff. This is very organized. I believe this is Dr. Sit laboratory. The chemical smell really assaults the nose, and there is point of assault the eyes in here too. It looks as though the doctor isn't here. Well, we are here now. We may as well do some sightseeing, don't you think? What a sudden tourist you have become, Mr. Sato. We could just have a little look around, being careful not to upset any wrestler's soul. Okay. Look at the big, thick book. It appears to be an accounting ledger. It's the records of the forensic investigation team spending, I think. Oh? What is it? It's clear that the team purchased various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but... Well, one entry seems rather strange. Really? They are buying 500 scalpels every month. 500? They must be working really hard on dissecting corpses. I don't know, judicial autopsies are only carried out in certain special conditions, and scalpel's blades can be sharpened too. It does seem a bit strange, you're right. 500 scalpels a month, what could possibly be using all done for? This could either be a hint of something that's going to happen in the mystery, or a joke of her breaking scalpels every 2 scenes, like Lord Van Zix with the wine, or Godot with coffee. Oh, she has this naked accessory. Looks cool. Sorry, we have something we wanted to ask you, but you weren't here, so... So you thought to snoop around. That's acceptable to you people from the East, is it? Okay, you are all also racist. Well, what do you want? Lord Van Zix told us, you see, that it was you who examined the victim's body, Mr. Esmond's body, I mean. So we came to ask you about your findings, or on Lord Strongheart's advice. Very well. If Lord Chief Justice has given his consent, I'll tell you what our investigation has revealed. Sorry, give me just a second. Ooh. Let me not have more water. I have just one more cup. Sorry. Why am I full? Yes. But when you're done, you must leave immediately. So, you want to know what the forensic investigation team determined from its examination of the scene? The victim, Mr. Odd Asman, who disappeared from the experimental stage amid the explosion, and the Mr. Asman who appeared a moment later part way up the Crystal Tower, were without question one and the same person. That is the team's conclusion. How would you conclude that? Because you only have one body, you don't have the second one. But that cannot be right. If it's an elaborate trick, we can only speculate how it was carried out. How would you even test that if two people looked very similar to each other were involved? They could have made it appear as if only one person have switched places, couldn't they? Very true, but sadly in this instance, that was not the case. The man who disappeared and the man who subsequently reappeared was the same person. Based on what? The fingerprints at the scene make that quite evident. Okay, even nowadays, with modern forensic, fingerprints are not that reliable. They have not yet officially recognized as a forensic evidence in the British justice system, but one day they will be used as an investigation aid as a matter of course. Actually, I don't know nowadays. I know a few years ago, at least, they weren't that reliable. Because, like, for you to actually be able to analyze a fingerprint, you need a really good fingerprint. And, like, someone putting their hands on a table and then removing, it doesn't leave enough of a mark to be used, to be examined. You need something, like, really imprinted. I don't know nowadays. I don't know how much forensic has evolved over the last, like, decades. But that would mean that the instantaneous kinesis actually took place. So where does that leave us? My team was tasked with investigations, not drawing conclusions. Well, you are drawing a conclusion. Instantaneous kinesis is impossible, and yet the body did move from one place to the other. This hasn't cleared anything up at all. It made the whole thing even more mysterious. What? Where are you even taking fingerprints from him? From here? Because the cage could have a second cage inside the tower, so did he even touch anything? Like, I'm sorry, game. What are you... Fingerprints at the scene. That's all you have. That's like not fingerprints on this object or this hasn't cleared anything at all. It's made the whole thing even more of a mystery. Like, I get it. Oh, hello, new character. Oh, I like your design. Mama, what is this? Ah, where did she spring from? Did you just call the doctor Mama? This is a lawyer, dear. Oh. Hello, to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Yes, I'm the face Mama? Yes, can I cut this one up? What? I've never seen inside of an Easter person before. I want to know what it looks like. Pretty much the same. Of course you cannot. It's a living specimen, as you can very well see. Boring. I think I just have a near-death experience. She's not gonna murder you. Mr. Naruhodo, you're as pale as a corpse. Let's leave before I'm mistaken for one. Well, I think we have done all the investigation we can for now. If we could have determined the whereabouts of Mr. Drabler, I'm sure Gina and little Toby won't let us down. Now then, do you think we ought to try to speak with Mr. Sholmes at this point? We have things to discuss, and I'm dying to meet him again after all these months. Yes, it's quite possible he might know something useful, you're right. We ought to find him at Madame Tuspel. He's supposed to be working there as a temporary waxwork exhibit. I do hope they also address that he is the one who prohibited Aris and tried to seal away the Hounds of Baskerville book. And the fact that Mikotoba has a copy, I do hope they ask him about that. Yes, Aris told me all about his latest unusual venture. Oh, I want to talk with her daughter a little bit more, but okay. Here we are again, the House of Horrors. I'm afraid I haven't got used to this place yet. Are we paying every time we go in? I still like to turn on my heels and go straight home via the confectionery, of course. Dato really is after something sweet today. What's the matter? Look, Mr. Naruhodo, look at that waxwork. I'm quite sure it wasn't there before. It looks exactly like Mr. Sholmes down to the very last detail. Ah, what is it? Oh, sorry, I think you'll find... Ah, the friend of my dedicated employee. Oh, yes, hello again. I'm Ryonosuke Naruhodo. I must say, I'm quite spellbound by the great detective. He's a marvel. My precious waxwork is already back where it belongs. You don't mean... But yes, the mystery is solved already. Mr. Sholmes can really engage his brain when he's hungry enough. As you can see, he has returned to his habitual duties. Yes, his habitual duties? Hours. Not disturb. Poor Susato-san, she looks very perplexed. Okay. So she's not talking about the Professor Waxwork. Okay, she's talking about him. We really do need to speak with Mr. Sholmes, and I'm longing to say hello again. But where is he? I think you might find he's quite nearby, actually. Oh, what do you mean? Indeed, my dear fellow, it is I! The world-famous great detective and waxwork, Sherlock Sholmes. And she died of a heart attack. Well, my most humble apologies. I thought I'd die and gone to eternal paradise for a moment, via London. My dear madam, allow me to make amends by offering you a taste-free deduction at some point. As long as it's not of questionable street food quality. I don't understand. Why are you working as waxwork? Merely a secret identity, you understand? So the case is largely solved now. Largely solved. We're talking about a waxwork abduction, I presume? Indeed, we are, my good fellow. As I predicted, it was as easy as a proverbial pie. Though I confess, I'm yet to partake of a pie, proverbial otherwise, or any food so far today for that matter. The stomach rumble echoed around the whole museum. So, how did you manage to solve it so quickly? Well, Sholmes is very competent when we are not around. You remember I said it was largely solved? Anyway, I simply negotiate with the culprit. Are you familiar with the so-called telephone? Oh, yes, it's a most modern invention, allowing you to hold a conversation with people far away. In Japan, only the imperial capital and a handful of other cities are connected as yet. This morning, a telephone call was received here from the perpetrator of the abduction. As such, I was able to negotiate terms, and in the end, the waxwork was returned. That's amazing! Just between you and I, it would appear the culprit have already intended to return the stolen waxwork in an event. But I thought whoever was responsible have demanded a ransom, no? Yes, I think perhaps the ransom demand was necessary to avoid unwanted suspicions regarding the true motive. But that does not mean your negotiation was entirely unnecessary? A fact that I must ask you to keep from Madame Tuspel at all cost. A hungry young Iris awaits my return to Baker Street after all. Poor Iris. Now then, do I sense that you have some business with this great waxwork? We're here in the process of trying to track somebody down. Oh. Yes, a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. He's the swindler who dumped Professor Hainbrain, and the engineer who built the Kinesis machine. A swindler and an engineer, quite a modern man. He also seems to be a conjurer of sorts, too, with considerable knowledge of stage magic. We really need to locate him before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. We will have so few clues to go on, that's the trouble. Do you have an idea? I have no data yet. It is a capital mistake to have good ideas before one has data. If I knew something about of them in appearance at least, I may be in a better position to help. Fortunate for you, however, presently I have very little to occupy myself, and little to fill my stomach. As soon as you find any clue, no matter how small, I should gladly give you my thoughts. Okay, so we have to present him the photo first. Sholmes, would you cast your eyes over this photographic print? It's of Mr. Enoch Drabler, the face of the engineer we seek. Well, it's an Englishman look broadly the same, of course. All Englishmen look broadly the same, of course. So look at the photograph won't be particularly interesting. Are you alright, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, yes, forgive me. Very interesting, this, very interesting. Okay, so he's also connected to the big mystery, good. What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You have turned quite pale all of a sudden. Really? That doesn't open a conversation. Really? The Sholmes, you lied to us. My dear Naruhodo, stay that piercing stare. What is this all about? Last winter, when we were first on our way to Britain aboard the steamship, your words were very clear. So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. You told us that it was murder, and you examined Kazuma-sama's body. Indeed, and wherein lies the problem. We met him earlier today. You're quite sure? He was wearing some sort of mask and was apparently suffering from amnesia. But yes, I'm quite sure it was Kazuma-sama. You must have known at the time, Mr. Sholmes, that he wasn't actually dead. Well, I can only assume I was swept up into the murder atmosphere of the moment. Okay. So he's just gonna keep hidden stuff for us. The fella wasn't dead? Priceless! I don't suppose that performance would pass muster, would it, Mr. Naruhodo? I could believe that the crewman present at the time made a mistake. But not you, Mr. Sholmes. I will now tell you everything of the first importance, my dear fellow. Sorry, I will tell you something of the first importance. Where detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. Great detectives are wont to lie? Sorry, my English is lacking here. Great detectives don't lie. It will serve you well to remember that. Please, Mr. Sholmes. Tomorrow in court, you'll find yourselves on the threshold of a very great mystery. For now, I'm afraid this is all I can say. Why? Why? I have a suggestion, Mr. Naruhodo. Will you indulge me? Well, what is it? As I explained to you when you arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned. And apparently reinstalled in the exhibit from which it was taken, behind those thick curtains. Ah, the Professor exhibit, isn't it? Would you like to see it? For a mere 5 shillings? At a special one-time only price, you understand? What? The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Won't you like to see the fruits of my labor? Oh, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out. Perhaps we could postpone? The price is very reasonably 5 shillings. I think you'll find it well worth it. Are you being serious, Mr. Sholmes? Surely you need only to look at my expression to assert it if this is seriousness or silliness. I can never tell you with you that's the point. Very well, it could not hurt. Here's your 5 shilling. Gratefully receive it. So, the special exhibits awaits behind the curtain. I invite you to peruse at your leisure. And he's gonna go away. So we cannot keep talking to him. Well, the money has been spent, so let's go see the exhibit. So who is going to be? Will it be the guy we are looking for? Mr. Drebber? Really? You're gonna have to make me go there manually? Press it to retrieve it for us using her special skill. Next will come up further in the list. Oh, do I have to actually move? No, okay. Come on. Oh dear, I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walk in here. Mr. Dato, I say we turn our heels and go straight home via a really big confectionery. We certainly cannot do that. We paid 5 shillings already. True. Actually, now I'm looking a little more closely. We have paid good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. The nerve of the great diddling detective is far more terrifying than anything else in this place. This must be what Mr. Showman meant when he said that case was largely solved. Be that as it may, Mr. Showman heavily implied that there'll be a clue about the engineering he didn't hear, but where? Since we paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation. Yes, we do. We will get what we paid for. That fear or frustration that is making Mr. Zato's voice tremble. Nothing to examine aside from the two of them. Okay, so let's start with the complete one. This part of the exhibition is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real. It seems to be a young man in a white overcoat. He has a large shovel in his hand. Look. Sorry. Perhaps we should investigate in a little bit more detail. Can I not see the face? Oh, there we go. It is him. Cannot see his face very well. Can you perhaps, if I just... Oh, do you think you should be manhandling the exhibit? I put it back where it was, don't worry. Ah! What on earth? How can... I don't believe it. A black monocle. Naruhodo, is it possible that this man is... Yes. Enoch Drebler. The color of the hair is different, but it's unmistakably him. He looks cool on that portrait. Indeed it is. Sholmes. This man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yes, that's right. So who is this man? Why is he here in the exhibit? Why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. What a surprise. So the case isn't solved, is it? I didn't say so. Did I not say so myself? Largely solved were my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head to the suit. As Madam would say, or I'll be in grave trouble. A very hungry Iris still awaits my return to Baker Street, preferable with rations. Do you know, though, something about this room is strange. Strange? What do you mean? Well, the display in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not? Indeed, Mr. Zato, do go on. And as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable, but this one, it's unbelievable. This surely couldn't ever really have happened, could it? I think it's time I educate you a little about the nature of the incident involving the professor 10 years ago. I feel like a lot of this should be public records and we should have access to it. Part of it is just surreal. Do I have to do it again? I guess I could check other places. Camera. So small. Why did this man have a camera? I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment the dead body came to life. Okay, so there was more stuff for us to check. Stuff glass, emotional reaction like coming to the... Okay, I'm ignoring and I should not be. If you open the cover of the back of the camera, we should find it. You should see for yourselves. Okay, him having a photo of something makes sense. The photo would not be in the mannequin on a wax museum. And a lantern. It's quite a large lamp the man's carrying. Or is it a lantern? It's not unlike a Japanese coaching paper lantern actually. Lamp, lantern, coaching. I didn't know these two mean different things. The point is, it casts a very little light. To be walking alone in the graveyard at night with only this, well, I certainly couldn't do it. I'm not sure I could visit the graveyard at all, even in broad daylight, to be honest. And I'm assuming there is nothing else. Okay, let me examine the camera. Oh, look! The cover came open. Yes, now, there should be a glass plate inside. You have changed the place to see each new photograph you want to take. Something wrong. There is no plate. It's been removed. Oh, what a pity. I suppose if you think about it, this wouldn't be the actual camera that was used in time, just some waxwork. So we never found a photograph print of the executed convict come back into life anyway. Oh, you're quite right. Poor Susato, she does look devastated. What a wonderful machine in blood. You really love contraptions like this, don't you? Oh yes, anything mechanical I find absolutely irresistible. Almost irresistible, surely. Well, whenever I see a pocket watch, for example, I can't help myself. I simply have to take it apart. That's worrying. Yes, father tells me the time by the rumblings of his stomachs now. He's giving up on having a watch. Poor Professor Mikotoba. Okay, nothing else aside from the blood. Look, Mr. Naruhodo, what is it? On the bellow just here, there seems to be some sort of dark red stain, sorry. Yes, you're right. It looks like blood, actually. Oh ma, I'm sure it's not what you're thinking. Why would the exhibition camera have blood stains? Is it just to simulate the original? Or did something happen with this statue? Okay, let's stop losing time. And let's examine you. This must be the killer, the field known as Professor. Yeah, I think so. According to what Madame Tuspel said, he killed 5 victims, all of noble or royal blood. The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place. I know, it looks like he could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only he have a head, that is. Perhaps we should examine a little bit more detail. Can I turn the camera? No? Just the head? Okay. So this is the condemned man, the so-called professor. Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine? But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost. Do you have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Mrs. Otto? Anyway, I think I said the model had a head once. There is metal fitting for it, you see? Then perhaps Mr. Sholmes absent-minded forgot to reattach it. That is extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? Perhaps the thief absent-minded forgot to include the head when he or she returned to the museum. And that would explain the absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh. There is something caught just inside the convict jacket there. It's a piece of broken glass, and quite a big piece too. Very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than a normal window glazing. Okay, so that's how the Waxwork Museum is related to the Crystal Tower murder exhibition case. Where could such a thick piece of glass come from, I wonder? Must have been thick to increase its strength. Why? Perhaps because the glass have to span a particular wide area? A big building, perhaps? We have seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? Some of the glass was broken too. You don't mean... Exactly, the Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition. Why would the glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside the waxwork jacket? Makes you think, doesn't it? And their head is going to be returned to reveal that the head is actually the head of Odiasmon or something like that. Your portrait looks really cool. Sorry about that. Earlier in court, we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick. And now we discover a fragment of glass here in the waxwork. Is it just coincidence? Okay. I believe I told you a little bit about... I believe I told you a little about Professor yesterday, did I not? He took the life of 5 victims, every one of them either being a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by enormous hunting hounds and have their throats ripped from their body. Okay, so that's where the color goes. And that's what the Hounds of Baskerville's connection is? Oh gosh, an enormous hound. How awful. After taking the life of his 50th victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand, because the court, the judge, they really give a fuck, because this time it was actually important people because they are rich. The professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. Closed court? So you mean the professor's identity... As you surmise, my friend, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at the Longgate Cemetery, which adjoined the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair. The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life. He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlight graveyard. The exhibit here depicts the very scene as described by the sole witness to this chilling event. There was a witness, but of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than the young man in the white overcoat. Enoch Drebber. He saw it happen. So, this waxwork model of Enoch Drebber. 10 years ago, the convicted professor have been gibbeted and buried emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old. So horrifying. Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. The sheer terror of what I have seen is said to have turned his hair white overnight. As shown in the photograph we have of him, his hair is completely white. For the following few days, the story of what I have seen was on every front page of the capital. The public was frenetic for every last details about the killer who have come back to life. As you have seen, the exhibit was even created here at Madame Tuspel. I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly, but what I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place. Or how, if the case was behind and no one knows the identity, what did she model the face based on? Do we have his face but not the name? In a lonely graveyard in the middle of the night? Yes. What was he up to? Professor... Sorry. Sorry. The Professor's acts of terror threw London's upper class into completely panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest level of society. And since the killer identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have, but in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did the talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as a preposterous parlor tale. But why did people stop believing it? Why? Simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, as was established in fact. What do you mean by no resurrection? The police investigated the grave in Longway Cemetery and published their findings. The convict body was found to be buried exactly where they have been following the execution. No, but that would mean Dr. Drebber must have lied to the police and the newspaper. That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society, and nothing has been heard of him since. Rather striking than that he would resurface now, don't you think? Of course, the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. That's not possible. But Drebler's hair is unusually white, and if that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe the incident was an out-and-out lie. Ah! What the bleeding, Nora? Odo! What have you gone and done? You know, what are you doing here? I asked Iris, and she said this is where you'll be, So, Gina, not so loud in the museum. Madame Tuspel will have you taken a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern. I still have flesh powder from 6 months ago, you saw? Alright, Gina, we understand. Please, put the gun down. Sorry, I got scared. You should try being on the other end of the barrel. So, what brings you here, Gina? What brings me here? What do you think? We found it. We found the Doggy Cove's workshop. What? You found the Drebber workshop. Good job. Yep, Toby's nose took me straight there. The boss and the others are heading over there now in a drag. So come on. Here's the address. The boss written it down. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once. Alright, see you there. You go, don't mind me. I'll just stay here, being still. What? I know my place in the exhibit over there. Oh dear, someone is feeling sorry for himself. Let's go, Mr. Sholmes, you're coming. Your words heartened me, I must say, but if I were to strike in my duty here, Madam would forget that. I will pay for everything. Then there is not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail our carriage at once. No offer to share the cost from Holmes, then? I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Mrs. Ott. Right, let's go. Enoch Drebber Workshop. Trophy, arrows, gas tank for the balloon. Okay, that looks like... Oh, it's another super teleportation machine. It would appear so, though only a prototype, naturally. Ah, you got here then? Gina, well done for finding this place. And in such a little time, you really work at miracles. It's Toby here who is the miracle worker. I thought you lot would show up before long. Hello, Inspector. That's one naked brown. He looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips. So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer? Sadly, no. We did not find a soul here. Oh, what a shame. Now, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us a chance to investigate. According to what Gina told me, we only found it thanks to the clue you lot turned up. I wouldn't want to say go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I? Thank you. Anyway, if you're helping to snoop around in here, I'll get cracking. Lord Van Dix and the forensic investigation teams are on their way here as we speak. Then again, imagine you got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer things. Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down while we have the chance. You, Mr. Shrums? Pardon? They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Ha! Very true, Gregson. Very true. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. Right, let's see what we can find here. A letter! From Mr. Naruhodo, the machine is covered by the special act. There would be a serious repercussions if you were to examine it from the Crown and the government. Oh, those two don't seem to be holding back. Quite hollow inside, no working parts or devices of deceptions to be seen, my dear fellow. No loose change drop on the floor or nothing, not even a bone for Toby, my dear fellow. Rich people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? I think that's just this too, Mrs. Otto. Okay, so that just took care of the entire machine. Airplane. What on earth is this? Oh, an airplane, Mr. Naruhodo. One day scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely in the skies. Is that how the trick will be described, is it? Sorry, well, it's actually suspended by a thin but very strong cable, isn't it? Oh, well, the model is, yes, but the real airplane would actually fly high in the sky, while suspended somewhere even higher in the sky, of course. Because large metal objects obviously can't really stay in mid-air unsupported. So to you the solution is even taller towers? Ah, appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? Impressive looking back massage, that's for sure. I have no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches pain would soon go away. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Would you like a massage? No, I'm fine. Thank you. So, he was a scientist. I think it's becoming... Okay, we knew he was a scientist, but he got, like, high honors. I think it's becoming increasingly clear there is much more to Mr. Enoch Grebler than conjuring tricks. Could not agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. Not gonna let that go, is he? It's curious, though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly displayed somewhere, not hazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times. Okay. Above it's just a machine, right? Yes. Okay, so we have the air tanks. No, we have the arrows on the door. Okay. Sorry, the bolts. European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside. Do you suppose? Crossbow bolts, this. Just the right side for the bow you turn up at the exhibition grounds. In other words. Yep, there is more evidence to support her theory. It goes to show that Drebler was the one pulling the strings behind the scene of the whole scam. And finally the door. This door doesn't appear to open. Yep, looks like we got a pretty hefty lock on it. There is a specialist locksmith on his way here from the yard, so hands off till he gets here. Permission, Inspector. I could have the lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission, and no one's giving it to you. Gregson looked as though he really enjoyed that. Well, there is no sound of anyone on the other side. No driver must have fled this at the first sign of danger. Okay. Oh, is something wrong, Mrs. Otto? I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina, did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it. I heard it all. What do you reckon, Toby? Right, mind the grease. Whoever's in that, open up. This is Scotland Yard. Okay, he ran away. Oh my, someone is in there. Ah, this rotten bleeding lock. My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it was countenance, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Just got us through that blazing... There, you may enter at will. You have confused minutes of seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel what you're waiting for. Okay, so he is really fucking good, goddamn. Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency. The strong possibility that beyond the door is the engineer you all seek. Prepare for action, my dear fellas. Yes. Bomb. Safe. Footsteps above. And the balloon prototype. What's happening here? Why is everything upside down? Oh, it's... No, not everything. Some stuff is... Rats. Like the footprint here. There's no one in here after all. But there must be. The only moments ago we heard the noise. Maybe that was the sound of the driver running away. But there is only one door to this room. No window that could afford to be escaped route, and those skylights are too high. What's up there? Are those footprints on the ceiling? Gloomy, what do we have here then? Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry. Oh, looks like some sort of blueprint. What? Professor Greg... Hey, brainy burning machine, is it? Believe me, if we don't have this, there will have been no need to murk about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There is sort of a great interest in here, too. Rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. Rope, what's the significance about that? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Huddle. He could have used the rope to just scale up and then run away and then let it down. You must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation teams arrive. Okay, let's ignore that bomb for now. Pile of books and the safe. Okay. There's a very large safe, I suppose even Mr. Sholmes could open that. I don't suppose even Mr. Sholmes could open that lock. Although, if I was a thief, I could just steal the entire thing, I suppose. It's bolted to the floor to prevent exactly that sort of underhand trick, Mr. Naruhodo. Well then, you could just steal the floor as well, I suppose. I'm sorry, but you really ain't making any sense at all. Anyway, I think we can agree that whatever is inside it must be very important. He has like X-ray vision. I guess it's full metal. That's a really lovely model. It looks just like the real flying balloon. I think it's probably staying aloof on the same principle as a full-sized balloon using gas. My throat is giving away now, god damn it. green flying balloon. It does have the hallmarks of that amazing deception at the Great Exhibition, doesn't it? Could it be that the whole thing was planned here in this very workshop? Almost every piece of furniture is upside down. Even Mr. Shum's suit isn't this much of a mess? You're in no position to comment on mess, Mr. Naruhodo. But I suppose it's not quite the same thing, is it? I mean, it's not messy here per se, it's that everything's literally upside down. But why? Okay, footprints and the bomb. There's no denying, is there? Those are footprints. Yes, it would appear so. I simply cannot imagine how they came to be there. Isn't there a Susato shoot up or something? Like a Susato takedown, I mean? I'm no Wonder Woman, Mr. Naruhodo. That would make her almost superhuman, I suppose. Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, yes. In point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let's see. Never seen anything like it before. Look like a bundle of... Hey, Susato, what's the matter? That's... Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? What? You said... A time bomb? Sorry, but... What is a time bomb? Ah, ha, ha. You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo. You won't take... I won't take that as a compliment. You don't know nothing, do you, Yoda? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invited you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. But this particular specimen is no time bomb. Though I confess, it's a very similar appearance. Oh, well, thank goodness, then what is it? I see, so that's it. Goodness, Mr. Sholmes, have you seen the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. For I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Miss Susato. Here we go, I feel a great deduction coming. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. I'm assuming you could have checked the bomb first, so this is the dialogue at the end of the investigation. Also... doesn't appear to be anything relevant. This piece of glass is almost as thick as it's wide. Yes, I've never seen anything like it. If it were to compare it to a human, only Mr. Sholmes has such thick skin. There's no need for such a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know. Anyway, it can only be from the Crystal Tower, surely. Yes, I think so too. It's probably made specially to meet the demands of that great structure. Okay. Nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Okay, so it's just a label. There's a little metal plate here, look. Fostering burgeoning talent for the future of scientific discovery. It seems rather ironic, doesn't it? But clearly, Mr. Drebber really was a talented scientist. Once again, I can draw to the conclusion from this scene. The first is the important nature of the furniture in this room. It was the work of Drebber himself. How could you? And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is without question completely genuine. Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything. I think that was like... what's the papier-mâché? The dynamite sticks. So this was just another prop for the scheme, like the flying balloon. It would be a pleasure. After all, it's a great detective civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Eh. Now, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyways. Ah. Oh, you have deflected the Inspector glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done. You are too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Miss Susato. Oh, yes. I'll be delighted. So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. I kinda wanna take a second before we begin, because I am a bit tired. Let me take a minute to stretch my legs before we begin this. Because I think after this, it's probably going to just be... I don't think there's much more before we go back to the courtroom, and I want to do a little bit of the courtroom today. So let me take a break now. I should have taken a break a little earlier, but I kind of didn't want to stop. Okay, so I'll be right back. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. It's funny to see this room is in completely disarray. The bed, the table, the chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room have, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling before falling straight down onto the floor. Every item in the room was on the ceiling. I was suggesting that Dave. Indeed, the key here is gravity. It would appear that technology has at least successfully. No, that's not how you say. Holy shit. No, that's not how you say it. My god. Why can I not say the fucking word? Succeed. Oh my god. I swear, I do not function at this hour. Holy shit. Succeed at freeing us from the great pool of Earth. Yes, we are not shackled by the Earth's gravity. Our souls are now free to evolve. Okay, we're not anymore. But the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored for normality. We are really not gonna address the safe yet. Goodness. The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Quite understandable your skepticism, Miss Susato. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. The anti-gravity device, and almost identical to one featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact. Okay, so yeah, the line is here, you see here, this is cardboard. But why does it have a clock on it? Most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. It was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically, and the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment the restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need to look no further to explain the state in which the room we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion by some time later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream once, and I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Because gravity was reversed. See, this is what I mean. This makes me so confused. This made me very confused in the first game. A lot of the game is trying to portray Sholmes as a very intelligent man, But every time we are with him, he's really dumb. He's really stupid. Because of... I was considering originally that he was a fake Sholmes, but But every person knows him, so that couldn't be it. Is it just supposed to be quirky because haha funny? Is it not supposed to be a plot point that he's stupid? But he does show competence from time to time. And he does appear to be able to solve things when we are not there. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Undoubtedly, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our head. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling? A question whose answers will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room. Except the skylight, that is. And the rope? By inverting the gravity here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving his footprints behind on the way. But the ceiling here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. The gravity reverse was sudden. Wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently? Falling up is both scientifically and philosophical a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was concerned with nowhere to run, so the escape to the skyline was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one into the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains why Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. Personally, I should have very much liked to reverse the pull of gravity again, just for fun. This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Yeah, I get you. Not even paying attention. She's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there is one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You are destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing possible, anti-gravity device, I mean? I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, is no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. But your whole deductions hinges on it. But my dear fella, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Not really, however improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pieces of wisdom. I have Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I have read it something that Mr. Zata lent me once. I have read it in something that Mr. Zata lent me once. Actually, there is one other thing, Miss Sholmes. Oh, the spell broken at last. The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed, in lonely coils near the wall. But if Mr. Drebber have used it to escape the way you described it, wouldn't it be tied to the wall? Mysterious inevitable unravel in the end, and I think you'll find the ropes. Yes, I think you'll find the ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only to look at the mystery we face in this room, now skillfully unraveled. That argument is as circular as the coils of rope. I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with minor corrections, the great detective great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. We must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. You're ready, let us resume. Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning is spectacular. It plains to see that this room is a completely disarray. The bed, the chairs, the chamber, everything is upside down. Most as if ever have been positioned on the ceiling before falling. Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting then? Indeed, the key here is gravity. It would appear that it has at least the technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the earth. Why have we not cut him yet? For the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality. Goodness. Inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth. If gravity could have been reversed in this very room, I think the whole idea utterly entrailing. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such explanation. But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once. That's unusually merciless of you, Mrs. Otto. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective said so, didn't he? While refusing to part with his dream of anti-gravity device. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining these topsy-turvy scenes a little more closely reveals some sort of proof to show exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Okay, so now we can examine the entire room, except the furnace with the fucking password. Because fuck me, I guess. Our furnace is very conspicuous upside down. Yes, clearly immediately put you in mind of some strange quirk of gravity. Could it be the mini whirlwheel passed through here? Not sure that's more plausible than Mr. Sholmes' explanation. Oh dear, saying the first thing that comes into mind isn't the way forward, it seems. Aside from the large safe, everything is considered just inverted furniture. So let's examine the safe again. Ah, look, Miss Osato. When everything seems to be upside down here, the safe is conspicuously... Oh, that's right. But look closely at the safe feet. Ah, that's a very large bolt fixing into the floor. Think before I speak. That's what you want to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth. Certainly didn't say that. I think it has to be the safe, but I don't know what they're gonna go with. Is it just... Oh, you remember the password was written under something, but he didn't remember what? So he started turning everything upside down to check?
Take that!
No. Is there any other object we can use? I didn't see anything else. Large safe. Inverted furniture. Upright vase. This vase hasn't been turned on. I was expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure. Oh, look at that. I know. This latest little vase looks like it's about to topple at the moment, but the flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say? Be honest, Mr. Naruhodo. Something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me. The fact that it isn't upside down, I guess. Anything else? Okay, let's present it.
Take that!
The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you have suppressed Oh my god, why am I so shit at basic words today? Suppressed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistants here, perhaps? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes, trust me. Ah, you're right. Though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down. This unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlikely the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in the room was never inverted at all. My deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes. The show must go on, so let us continue with your deductions. Now that we know that this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why? Quite naturally, there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? I'm afraid the lure of exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Well, there is no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind. Let's look around and see. Okay, now we can check the safe combination. Yes, the reason why everything here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely, I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you have a very similar experience once. You do not? Yes, last year, when I brought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it. For people who are forgetful souls at heart and always make a written note of important information, just keeping the ticket itself safe would have been more sensible, I think. And what pray happens next, Mr. Naruhodo? When the day of the draw came around, I forgot which book I have written the number in, and have to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it. For people who are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they note things down. Not if you always note things on the same place. I actually won the second prize, you know? But I couldn't remember which magazine. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I have proven my point. Let me read what he said. Can't remember which magazine I slipped this ticket into, so I have to turn my room upside. Which is that very same similar scenario have clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he had written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Driver overturned all the furniture in here in a desperate hurry to locate the combination that would access the safe. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. He turned over the fucking bed! Let's consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend aiming? Undoubtedly, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our head. Yes, how is it possible there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling? A question whose answers will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints in the skies is because of the nearby skylight. Well, if a change in the direction of gravity cannot explain, how did those footprints get there? I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve. I genuinely do not know. I cannot think of any other way to explain it. Oh, life was so much easier in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed. It was a minute ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place. What the fuck is how? A tranquil, prosperous golden time. Huh. Pronunciation. Halcyon. Okay, that's a new word. Those halcyon days never existed in the first place. Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail. Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what got us in those situations in the first place. The balloon?
Take that!
Okay. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on close inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the end was never the skylight at all, but the balloon. But for what purpose? A green balloon? That seems somewhat familiar, Data. It was a piece of the green balloon envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene. And inside the green balloon that Mr. Gotts claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was a second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception. You mean to say, if assuming the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there is a strong possibility that something may be concealed inside it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hastily getaway. And by throwing his shoes on the balloon to get it, he perfectly made 2 footprints on the wall. Okay. But the balloon is out of reach, hence why he resorts to a projectile, namely the shoe. Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights. Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside. You may recall that we found the rope earlier, which I believe offers a solution, and also the fact that I have magical glasses that we never fucking use in the game. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Please let me just point to his glasses. Deduction to the rope, I have to admit that was clever. We just throw the rope in the balloon and then pull it down, which is much easier said than done. It could take us a very long time. True, perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we have one, don't we?
Take that!
We also have a fucking katana. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? It was found at the scene, in fact, because someone could get really hurt by you shooting this. Like, you can reach it with your katana and just do a stab. In our likelihood, it belongs to Mr. Drebber, and he used the scene of the crime and then left it there. Why? If the man have only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing his shoe at such a crucial time as this. Yeah, why did he left like a extremely gigantic clue in the scene? So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellow. What is that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside the balloon and the safe? The head of the mannequin. What the? A waxwork. Indeed, a waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. And we cannot see the face inside them, miss. Just a moment, this is the head of a waxwork model. Does that mean... Oh goodness. I see you have joined the dots, Mrs. Otto. Excellent. Of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel model that you have largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was missing. Indeed. But I believe Miss Tuspel will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. But why is it here? This conclusively confirmed my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspel and returning it, Sunstete, earlier today, was none other than Enoch Drebber. That is incredible. Professor Hainbrain case and the waxwork abduction they are inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber workshop. And then the safe. Well, it appears logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellow. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure. The architect? You mean Drebber? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights. Obviously, the man must still be here in the room. Yeah, the safe. The location should be abundantly clear. We'll simply reflect on the journey we made together during this abduction. Come on, Naruhodo! Do the honors? Of course.
Take that!
Before we gain access to this room, we heard noises from in here, which tell us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. We don't need a full thing just for this. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe. And pressure for time, he made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. For which we can deduce that this search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is at this very moment inside the safe. I did consider that he was inside the safe when we got into the room, because he couldn't have escaped it. But the noise that we heard didn't really feel like someone opening and closing a safe. I think I would need to hear it again. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Inside the safe. Oh god, this investigation is still going! This was also really long! Every part of this case is fairly long. And like, the next courtroom is not gonna be a short one. I think perhaps it's time we end this game of hide and seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see, the combination was 432582. I knew that. Alright, here goes. Shouldn't Gregson be the open, or shouldn't we just wait for Van Zix and the rest of the police who is coming here? You found me. Oh, both your arms are mechanical. Why are you dancing? I love your design. Right then, sir? Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume? Correct? You better start talking. You tricked Professor Hainbrain with those bogus machines you built. And you shall have to explain the thief of the waxwork from Madame Tuspel as well. Was I would be delighted to answer your many questions. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate your parcel. I refer, of course, to the time bomb. That's just card box. That's not even trying to hide. The time bomb I left in the most prominent position. Ha ha ha, I see. Stunned silence. You are all gearing up to die with Maiden. No, we are not gonna let him run away with this stupid thing. Please. The Shams, with only 11 seconds to spare. Let's wait too close for comfort. I got one foot on the grave already. Are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed? The Shams' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they? Well, my dear fellas, that was a close shave. Did I miss a cutscene? The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is quite startling, I must say. Anti-gravity devices don't exist. I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Did I miss a cutscene? Okay, I'm gonna have to watch online on YouTube because this is weird. What happened here? What on earth happening here? You have found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, we'll be giving a thoroughly going over. Don't you worry. A thorough going over. Don't you worry, Dribbler. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling? Ah, that would have been me. For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly, I must have a screw loose though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. Another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I have written it down. We also found a rope by the wall. Yes, I have hoped to exit through the skyline, but sadly the rope was too short. So I set about searching for the combination code to open the safe. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettable though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the raffle. And after that, you hid yourselves inside the safe, having first set this parcel tickling. Well, I have no intentions of being nailed by the police. But a death wish hiding right beside the tickling time bomb? Please, why do you suppose I choose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe, it's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it. So in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely. But once you climb inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again. I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to unlock from within. Ah, so it is. I've always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting an uninvited guest to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up? No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a tickling time bomb at their feet. Ah, I calculated the time required for a retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. Nothing wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ear, nose, and mouth? I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. What about the two incidents you have evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebraining instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the Waxworks model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong it's unable to open safely to reveal the killer identity. Okay, so nobody knows who the killer was. Great. I have been considering carrying around, as that's enough. It's protection. After all, enough. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have the sole jurisdiction to investigate here. Ah, yes, well, Dr. Sittigan, so the forensic investigation team are here. You know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Songhart knew of this, you'll be finished. You lot, leave at once. My dear madam, there is no need for such threatening tone, I assure you. After all, there is no way to greet an old acquaintance, it is Dr. Sitt. Hello, Sholmes. The Sholmes know Dr. Sitt. If it's protecting the machine next door that is causing such a sour expression on your face, you're quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a show. Get out. But of course, we'll show ourselves out the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Naruhodo, yes, it would appear that our delightful entertaining investigation have run their course for the day. But Mr. Sholmes, let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I don't like how much of this game is going to be based around a gigantic shit that happened years ago, and one of the main characters know everything and he's just not telling the others. But I guess because it hasn't crossed at the point where we all absolutely need to know everything. I say get out now, all of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Understood. But I would just say one thing before I head out. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we would never have found this place and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was a time bomb starting here, then this lot disarmed it. Spectre. Something given you a chuckle, has it, Trevor? Ah, so sorry, didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you disarmed that one. What are you... That one? You mean... Okay, so it's not card box, but it kind of looks like card box. Ooh, nice. Boom. Okay, the case is getting more and more interesting. It was an hour later we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage of the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebraine's invention and all its secrets were blowaways forever. To be continued. And we are over time, so let's stop here for the day. Hopefully we start tomorrow on the courtroom. So, this is fun. But this is a really long case, holy shit. But, okay, it's a long case, but it's not a bad paced case. A lot of the cases in the first game are shorter than this, but they felt longer. This one feels long, but it's quite justified, I think. But we'll see how it's going to end. As our... Oh yeah, there's not going to be any stream tomorrow, only Saturday and Sunday. But I will try to do a longer one on Sunday, but we'll see. But anyways, as always, thank you very much for watching today's stream. If you're interested in watching more of my content live, I try to stream on Twitch every day. If you're interested in watching my old content, I try to archive everything on my YouTube channel. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you join me tomorrow. Bye bye.